much.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for attending the Introduction to Voiceover class. We're going to allow a couple of minutes here for everybody to get into the room. And we really appreciate you taking time out of your Thursday evening to be with us. Rob and I have been around for a long time doing voiceovers, probably, Rob, over 30 years of experience at this point, doing like
At least
commercial
at least 30. Yeah.
narrations. Rob has a little, does different genres than I do. That's the beauty of voiceover is you can specialize in a certain genre. Some people are hitting it out of the park doing commercials, and then there's other people like me that really the bulk of my voiceover income is doing theme park promos for a variety of different amusement parks around the country, and also a lot of e-learning narration. So it's different for everybody. And while I'm sending the link to a few more people, Rob, tell us a little bit about kind of like when you got started and why you wanted to get into this and why it's been one of the most enjoyable things in your life.
It's funny. I grew up in LA. I'm a native Californian, Angelino, and I grew up in every job I ever worked was kind of production related. There was video production companies, there were satellite uplink companies. I worked for DirecTV in LA for a long time, and every place that I worked, uh, there was something that needed a voiceover, and so I would always volunteer. I had sound experience working at Six Flags and knew how to talk on a microphone, so I just would volunteer to do it. And then so I'd always been doing voiceover with every business that I'd worked at. And then somebody like gave me a tablet one year for Christmas, and it was the light bulb went off and said, "Why am I not doing this on my own?" And so I started doing freelance and got coaching and redid my demo, which was horrible before then because I thought I knew everything. And yeah, I just have never looked back. And then I'm really excited to that every day is something different. Every day is a different opportunity to share a message with a company or for a company, and nothing is ever the same. Every day is different.
I
Every day
agree.
is new, and I love it.
This is a profession where it's really burnout free because every week everything changes a little bit. You're never really working on unless you're going to stick to like audiobooks or you're going to stick to a certain genre, which if you're brand new to this, you guys, I would always recommend because right now, if you're brand new and you've never recorded a voiceover in your life, you really don't know what you're going to be good at and what you're not going to be good at. So I know there's a lot of people that kind of they have fears about character work, video game character work, or narration or whatnot. When at UVT coaching, when we work with new students one on one, I like to just kind of throw the darts and see where they land because you just really never know. Sometimes people have crazy talent bottled up inside them, and due to insecurity, they've never kind of spread their wings and tried. And I mean, that's how I got into theater. I didn't think I was going to get into acting, and I was such a nerdy seventh grader, super shy and introverted, got picked on, bullied, and really it was my drama teacher in middle school that saved my life. I auditioned for a bunch of plays and got some pretty good roles and did many years of theater, and then kind of went into voiceover from there. But it's funny, there's always like one or two people that kind of have that kind of influence on our lives. Rob, I don't know if you had somebody that, I mean, I swear to God, my drama teacher in eighth grade pretty much saved my life. And I know that sounds really dramatic, but it really was a turning point at such a young age.
That's great. That's great. I mean, anytime you have somebody that encourages you to do something that you haven't done before but sees that you have a passion for it, those are the kind of people that you need to keep in your lives. It's the ones that go, you're not going to be good at this, or it's going to take a lot of money to begin, and blah blah blah. No, you need to tune that out and hang more with the positive people that are like, yeah, no, it sounds like a challenge, but why not go for it? That's the kind of people you need in your life. Those are the people that push you to go forward and do more.
We are going to be taking your questions at the end of the class. We'll be taking some of them live, but feel free to use the chat to ask questions because Janice will be kind of gathering some questions, and we'll try to take a few here and there throughout the presentation. We like to make this kind of fun and casual, and We'll definitely do that. And then do me a favor too in the chat. Tell me where you're all watching or listening to the class. We love to
Oh,
know
they've been doing that.
where everybody's
Yeah.
from. I'm sure they've probably been doing that already. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm from Minnesota. I'm about a half hour away from the city here. Rob is in Austin, Texas, and Janice, you are in the Fort Worth area. So
Correct.
that's the beauty of doing voice. And you know what? This is a perfect example. We're all getting together on Zoom tonight, right? And this is another perfect example of how voiceovers work in this day and age. I mean, you can literally work with any client anywhere in the country with Source Connect and Zoom. We're so digitally attached to anybody right now that you really don't have to be a big voiceover superstar in your area. I get more work from out of this market than I do in the Midwest market. And sometimes that's just the way it is. I mean, I have more clients in North Carolina than I have in Minnesota. So you really, long gone are the myths that you have to live in LA or New York. I mean, some of that misleading information is still hanging out there on the internet and social media. But because of the internet, because of social media, because all of these digital products, Adobe Audition, Audacity, recording software, being able to email an MP3 to a client anywhere in the world is something else. So, what we do for these intro classes is we usually take the top 5 or 6 most frequently asked questions that Rob and I get via email or even like over the phone or wherever people are getting in touch with us. And we're just going to try to answer it. So the first one is, how the heck do I get started? And the good news is you've already started because you're here on the webinar. You've taken that first step and you're actually taking time out of a Thursday evening, which is never easy to do no matter what class you're taking. Um, you decided that this was going to be worth your time, and we want to make it worth your time because we want to share with you the truth about getting into voiceovers, especially when we live in a land of misinformation, in social media groups, and all over the place. Where Rob, you get these Facebook ads where people are promising thousands and thousands of dollars, making outlandish income guarantees. We're not here to do that. We're here to talk about the skill levels. We're here to tell you what it takes. Um, Rob, in our coaching programs, we don't even talk about money.
No, that shouldn't. That's not something you need to be thinking about from the beginning, because at the very beginning, you need to learn. You're not going to make any money. Plain and simple. Your first year, you're not going to make money. You're still taking baby steps and moving forward and learning your skills and developing your talent. And any service out there that's talking about like making money overnight,
Oh,
absolutely run away from those things, because you can make money. It is quite possible to make 6 figures with this kind of a thing, but it takes work. Just like anything, it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of skill behind the microphone. You can't just stand in front of the mic and money just is thrown at you. It takes hard effort to make this happen.
yeah. And really, how do I book voiceover work? That's probably the second most popular question that we get. It really, we would always recommend working with a coach on performance skills, especially if you don't have like a big theater background or you've never had any experience actually reading commercial and narration scripts, whether they be for television, online training courses or theme park promos or radio imaging, and even video game character work. If you don't have any experience whatsoever, you need a mentor to be able to listen to your reads and be able to coach you so that you're sounding like some of these national voice actors on TV commercials, radio commercials, and video game commercials. There's so many people that will skip over the training process and they'll just go and buy a mic and they'll declare to the universe that they're a professional voice actor. And then they cry and whine a year later that they're not booking any work. Well, it's because they suck at reading scripts because they don't get any feedback from anybody. They didn't bother to invest in any training. They took a bunch of shortcuts, and and sometimes that can be insulting to professionals that spent like years and years really investing themselves into a voiceover career. I mean, Rob, this isn't any different than if you want to be a plumber or a real estate agent or, a doctor or whatever. I mean, shortcuts are just going to land you in the ditch.
It doesn't work. There are no shortcuts to success, which to use the first of, I'm sure, many cliche sayings, but that's exactly right. It takes a lot of effort to make this work, and there's no shortcuts. There's no get rich quick. Sorry, you
No,
know.
there really isn't. But I mean, the beauty of voiceover work now is because we're so connected online with potential clients, talent agents, production directors, it doesn't take as long to to get on an agency roster or to book work. I mean, back in the 80s, I sent one of these out. This was one of my first demos on a cassette, and you'd have to package it nicely and send it to a talent agent, and then it would take them 8 months to get back. I mean, sometimes it took a year just to get a meeting with a talent agent. Now with the beauty of social platforms like LinkedIn, you're able to connect with clients almost immediately. It doesn't mean you're going to book work immediately, but at least the opportunity is there. And things can happen a lot quicker than back when Rob and I got started, where everything was snail mail and meeting people in person. And back then, you really had,
Postcards,
yeah, postcards,
postcards,
exactly.
so many postcards.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
God.
And back then you really had to have a talent agent to have any kind of, chance to book voiceover work. And that's really not the case today. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. But it really comes down to coaching, your performance skills, professional demos, which we're going to touch on in just a few moments. Very important because demos are your calling card. You need something tangible to send to a client with a bunch of samples professionally produced. Clients love to hear variety in your voice. They want to make sure you're not a one note talent and that every clip on the demo doesn't sound exactly the same, because the more versatile you are performance wise, the more you'll book. And then, of course, the more money the talent agent makes because they're taking about 10 to 15% of everything that you book. So they really like working with versatile talents who have lots of different styles. And that means maybe getting really energetic and animated. Maybe it's getting kind of folksy and humorous, dry sense of humor, authoritative, or serious voice for like automotive. There's different performance skills that will kind of help you go a long way in this business. Let's talk briefly about what kind of recording gear do you need? Rob, do you want to talk about first? I want to talk about the importance of not starting out by buying recording gear. This should come a little bit later after you've mastered your performance skills. This is why the importance of
Yeah.
working with a coach comes into play. But, Rob, when you're just starting out, what are some kind of starter kits, or what did you use when you first got started? Because I mean, obviously, you're going to eventually need a microphone, uh,
Yeah.
an interface, some headphones.
Yeah, the thing is that you need something to get started. But really, when you're first working with a coach, if you're doing this the right way, you got a coach, and you don't need gear. You need to be able to talk to your coach.
Yeah.
So the ability to convey address a recording, using your phone, heck, the voice memo function on your phone is good enough to send
Yeah.
files to a coach. It's only after that that you start getting the gear. Now, what my first round of gear was a USB microphone, which a lot of people say don't use a USB microphone, and they're absolutely right. Don't use a USB microphone because the quality is just not going to be as good as the old school XLR connector type mic. But I got a USB mic. Uh, it was great because it had a headphone jack on the microphone, so I could plug headphones directly in and listen to what I was recording. It plugged directly into a laptop, and Audacity was the recording software I used.
Yeah.
Audacity is free, and it's been around forever, so there's lots of tutorials on how to use it. So Audacity and a microphone was all I really needed to get started. But the main thing that I had was skills. I
Yeah.
understood how to address issues, how to say things. Boy, I can't do it right now, but I know how to convey emotion for whatever the client is asking for. But you need to have those skills behind the mic before you're going to make any money with it. So don't buy lots of gear when you're first getting started. Wait until you got some skills and you're working with a coach, and then start working on your gear. So
What's
you're not
interesting too,
spending a
it's
lot of money.
almost in my experience of not only doing voiceovers but also working with new voice actors in our programs, I find that it's almost easier to learn this stuff when you don't have any experience than if you spent 55 years reading the news at a radio station, because you
Oh,
are so
absolutely.
you are so institutionalized in that one style of delivery, that real kind of a authoritative announcery. I mean, that's what when I got started, every single script I read, uh, people would run into the basement because they thought there was a tornado warning. Because everything sounded alarming. It would be this real smooth, kind of authentic, friendly coffee commercial, but I would scare the hell out of everybody because it sounded like I was reading the news. And that was not the right way to approach like a Folgers coffee commercial or something like that. And I really, after spending about 8 years as a radio announcer, I had to work with two or three coaches to get out of that real announcery type read, because you're going to have to be able to do different kinds of performances. Now, when I say different kinds of performances, some people always think that I'm talking about characters or doing impressions. I'm not talking about that at all. It's adapting a different personality for every different script. Like Rob, you can be the friendly guy next door. Oh, now you're suddenly the car salesman. Oh, suddenly you're the pastor. Suddenly you're someone else. It's the ability to kind of portray different characters reading the Folgers coffee script. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have to understand the character. You have to understand who you are in the script and what you're saying and why you're saying it. The whole classic, the what's my motivation? You always hear actors talk about that. What's my motivation for this part? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I used to roll my eyes at actors that would say that. But now I'm saying the exact same thing. You have to understand the background of who it is that's talking so that it sounds real. Because if it sounds forced, if it sounds like you're selling, if it sounds like you're trying to push something, you're immediately tuning out your audience. No one wants that.
Now this is a screenshot of yours truly when I'm getting ready to do a cold call. That's how much I love doing cold calls. They still to this date kind of scare me to death, but it's really a part of once you go through training and once you have a professional demo produced, you have to send emails out and you have to cold call talent agents, production companies. I've found a lot of success because everybody lives near a big corporation, right? Well, inside corporations are video production departments where they produce a lot of e-learning material, all kinds of stuff for their employees, rules and regulations of the company. Like if it's 3M, one of my best industrial narration clients, they're always inventing a product, right? I mean, who doesn't have something in their home that was, created by 3M? And um I got that gig from a cold call. Can you believe that? It's a company as big as 3M. I mean, it took a long time to kind of get to the right decision maker. And, there was a little bit of legwork involved. And then, many months later, they just started hiring me for a variety of different voiceover projects. So it's not always about calling a talent agent. Agents are great people, obviously. But there is ways to get work without a talent agent. Rob, when you get a lot of your clients, do you find that do you do much cold calling?
It's funny. I used to do a lot of cold calling. That was my thing. That was my jam. But now I realize that a lot of people don't answer the phone. I never answer my phone, so I do cold emails,
Yeah,
and that becomes a warm call, not a cold call,
yeah,
because
exactly.
you go through the email like you have a strategy that works really well. You ask a question and you say, "Hey, can I get you on the phone for 5 minutes so we can talk about this?" And that works. Because it sounds that it gives the impression that you're genuine, that you're serious about this, and it's a good way to start a relationship with a potential client. So yeah, I don't cold call anymore. I do cold emails. That's the thing. I
That's a
try and
good
get
way
the
to do it.
conversation going.
And I'm glad you brought up the email, because an email should really be sent out to set up a consultation with the client. I don't really try to get voiceover work via email. Everybody's different. It's really, honestly, it's going to be whatever works for you. A lot of people love cold calling. A lot of people get booked for work via cold calling. I like to email clients and set up a live meeting, because once they agree to the live meeting, I know that I at least have a chance, right? And sometimes it doesn't turn into work right away, but sometimes it does later on. There's no such thing as a dead lead, by the way. If they haven't just said, don't ever call me again, I'm going out of business, if they haven't said anything like that, it's still a good lead. I mean, I get calls from people that I marketed to like 7 years ago that will hire me for a gig. And sometimes I don't even remember the person because it was so long ago. So just keep everything in a database. If you like Google Sheets, I like Google Sheets a lot more than Excel spreadsheets. I like to keep a kind of a tally of clients that I'm currently working with, clients who are prospects, and then you'll kind of know when to kind of follow up with a client after you've marketed to them. Um, now, we touched on this a couple of minutes ago. Can I book work without a talent agent? Absolutely. 80% of my annual income comes by way of working directly with the client. People that work at production companies, e-learning companies, video game companies, corporations, especially in this day and age of voiceover, the possibilities are endless in getting work without a talent agent. They don't really like it when I tell people that, but it's just the honest to God truth. Now, is it's a little tougher to get national Coca-Cola commercials without a talent agent. Not impossible, but that national Budweiser or that national Ford F-150, it is very helpful to have a talent agent when it comes to that. But the good news is you can make a really good living without the help of a talent agent. Janice, do we have any questions in the chat? Maybe we want to just take a quick break and take a question or two. We've just got a few slides left. And then coming up in a few minutes, I want to talk a little bit more about the importance of a professional demo. And then I want to play you a demo sampler of about 3 or 4 different talents on a demo sampler. Janice?
Yeah. The very first one, I want to make sure this is asked. This person is in North Carolina. So she said, did you do any theme park announcements or advertisements for Carowinds? I hope I'm saying that right.
No, that wouldn't be me. I do a lot of stuff for Stone Mountain Park. I do a lot of stuff for a couple of different Six Flags amusement parks. There is Callaway Gardens. I do a ton of Christmas stuff during the holiday season for them. I've done a lot of stuff locally here for Valley Fair, and I wish I had the one that Janice is speaking about, and I'd be happy if they hired me. They could call me tonight and offer me a gig, and that'd be fine. Theme park promos, it's interesting because it's definitely a genre I had no idea that I would be doing. Again, it's always nice to have a surprise in the voiceover business, right? I got a gig from this a client who runs a production company, and he does all the production at Stone Mountain Park. So it really started with this guy, and then he started getting other parks. So I kind of lucked out with this client because he's in
That's
charge of
great.
about 10 different parks. And I love it, Rob, because I'm on a retainer with them, which if anybody in the class does radio imaging, this means you get paid every month, whether they have anything for you or not. And that's really, really
Yeah,
nice to get on that kind of a contract.
I have a retainer with one TV station, and I love it. They send me X number of scripts a month, and I send them the same invoice. And if they send too many scripts, then I bill them for the extra scripts. But it's nice. Yeah, there's a lot of months where I do one or two, and I'm still billing them the same amount
Yeah.
because that's the agreement. It's
That's the
nice.
agreement. That is called a retainer contract. It doesn't always work this way, but only typically for any kind of promo work. That's going to be something that's very common. Commercials, narrations, e-learning, audiobooks, IVR, all that stuff is going to pay a little bit differently. And if you want to just take a look, I don't have a screenshot of voiceover rates for this class, but you can go to gvaa.com. They're kind of the industry standard for non-union voiceover rates. If you just kind of want to look at what the ballpark rate is for a variety of different voiceover jobs, a lot of talent agents use a similar rate card for their rates. But I want to get to a very important question because I get this all the time. Is the voiceover business too competitive? Or better yet, I get emails. I've heard the voiceover business is too competitive. And usually people are hearing this from their second cousin who doesn't even do voiceovers. It's just something they heard from somebody who they work with. So let me set the record straight. Every creative field is competitive: photography, on stage acting, um, play by play announcing, anything that has anything to do with arts or anything creative is going to be competitive. But here's why the voiceover business isn't as competitive as one may claim. There's a lot of people that will get into this business and think that they're going to make thousands and thousands of dollars within a couple of months. And they're using voiceover as a quick fix to just losing their job. Now, we've all lost a job here and there. My God, when I was in my 20s, I think I lost like 50 of them. But we've all been there, right? But voiceover is not a quick fix if you're unemployed. So you have hundreds and hundreds of talents that get into this thinking this is going to be a quick fix for a financial situation. And when they find out that it isn't, that's it. They drop out and then they move on to something else. So you've just lost that big chunk. That these people are not your competition. So it's the voice actors who have perseverance, who are diligent and willing to really put in the time and effort that it takes to become successful. So it's really not as competitive as people say. My God, I mean, you should try being a real estate agent. There's other professions where it just seems like everybody's getting into real estate, right? So that's kind of my sermon on why the voiceover business isn't as competitive as maybe something that you read in a blog or anything like that. Everybody has their, and really it comes down to marketing too. And there's a lot of people that get into voiceovers, Rob. They'll go through a training program, they get a kick-ass demo produced, and then they just sit on it and they don't do anything with it.
It's sad, and it happened. It's weird. It's weird. It happens all the time. I don't know why somebody would spend the effort to record a demo and get the demo produced and then not do anything with it. You've got this bargaining chip in your hand that is the perfect tool to reach out to people that need voices, and you're sitting on it. That's just a waste. That's a shame.
And again, the demo, I can't stress enough how important the demo is because I get calls all the time. It's like, well, how do I get into voiceover works? Do I start calling agents or, I mean, what are you going to talk to them about? If you call an agent, you've got nothing to show them because you don't have a demo. They're going to want to, the first thing that any production director or any talent agent is going to ask you if you make a call or you send an email, do you have a professional demo and can you send it to us for your consideration? So make sure you take that seriously.
Yeah, your demo is like it's the equivalent of a headshot as for an actor.
Exactly.
It's your calling card. It's the thing that sells you when you're not online. It's the thing that as a producer I want to listen to and be able to tell, does this person have the personality and the acting chops that I'm looking for? Can they sound the way I need them to sound? And that's why you want a demo that showcases a lot of the different vocal styles that you can do that are going to be in demand. The conversational and the heartfelt, sincere and the folksy reads. And show those skills off. But that's the whole point of a demo. It's a demonstration of your skills.
Absolutely.
It's the name.
Well, let's talk about AI for just a second because it's always, it's pretty much the voiceover industry curse word at this point. But here's what's interesting.
Somebody else asked about that. So it's
yeah,
perfect time to bring
AI is not taking over. The sky isn't falling just because we have this AI technology. What's happening is some clients who don't have very big budgets are testing the waters of AI because it's cheap and they don't really have the money. These aren't really our clients because we want real industry standard agency like rates for the work that we do. So the AI people can go to the Fiverr talents who are charging like $5 for like a 30-page e-learning narration, and they can suck up that business because really I haven't seen any decline in my business due to AI. In fact, I've gotten more clients from AI, and let me explain what that means. I've actually gotten hired from clients who sampled the waters of an AI service and they thought it sucked. And then they said, screw this. We need to find a real human voice actor. And then they found Terry Daniel or Rob Marley in a Google search. I mean, it seems to be happening more and more. I've talked, Garnett's had a lot of success. I've talked to dozens of voice actors where this is happening too. So anytime there's, something new in technology or a new development, of course, people are going to kind of want to sample it. I mean, how many times have we tried a different social media platform and then it kind of fails and then we go back to Facebook? you know? So it's like, of course, people are going to like, okay, hey, we just want to try this for a while. And Rob, I've gotten clients who actually did leave me, maybe two or three, just to try an AI service, but all three of them came back.
Yeah, I landed a video game last year because I had reached out to the company and said, you guys are using AI and it sounds like AI and it sounds terrible and you need a real voice. And they said, okay, what can you do? And I said, well, here. And we negotiated and I ended up landing this great job. It's an add-on to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So
Awesome.
there's lots of opportunities. I forget, I got to scroll back to read it. But yeah, AI is not going to take over the jobs of the people that know what they're doing in the business. It may be the stand clear, the closing doors stuff. But I mean, you can see it like with TikTok. Everybody hates the TikTok voices. The one that sounds like Richard Dreyfuss, or
awful.
the one that's that super vocal fry voice. I'm so sick of those things. People want real voices, and that's the thing. AI can't act.
No,
It
and they
doesn't
can't.
know anything other than the one thing. So
And the
learn
last
your
I
acting
checked,
skills.
an AI service cannot do a live directed session, with the
Exactly.
talent because it's not real.
AI will give you one line, or it will give you the lines that you type into it, typo and everything. But if the client came back and said, well, make it funnier, or yeah, that doesn't sound personable enough. There's nothing AI can do except the exact same regurgitation of the text. So no, AI can't act. Humans can, and people realize that they want the human interaction. Every time I hear an AI in a business that uses AI, I think there's a business that doesn't care about its product.
Yeah.
They're too cheap to use a real human.
I agree. And it's just like, and clients want the relationship. They want to be able to call Rob if they have a quick need or a quick revision. And people want that business relationship. It doesn't even matter what business we're talking about here, but they want that one-on-one client relationship. So, how long should a voiceover demo be and what should they sound like? You're going to hear it in just a minute of what it's going to sound like. But typically, a commercial demo, now, agents across the country have different opinions on this. Our good friend at Atlas has made it clear that it's okay to go over a minute, a minute 15 maybe with a commercial demo with about 6 clips. Again, showcasing variety in your voice. You want to make sure that the content on the demo is original. We write all original content for our demos at UVT. We don't borrow, scripts from the Edge Studio library script or just stuff that we find online. I mean, some of that's fine for just like coaching stuff, but you
For
never
practice.
want, agents can sniff a demo with Edge Studio scripts in like 5 seconds flat. They're going to know where you got it from. So you want to make sure that all the content is written, directly for you based on your interests, your skill set. Very, very important. So narration demos, depending on if it's e-learning, explainer video, documentary, can go a little bit longer, typically a minute 20, and promo demos, Rob, are a little bit shorter. I mean, you do a really good radio imaging demo, and they don't typically go longer than a minute, do they?
No, I try and keep them 60 seconds because, especially with radio imaging, they're just noisy, and 60 seconds of noise getting thrown at you is plenty. You want to be able to show off the skills of the voice or the voice artist that's there, but you should be able to do it in 60 seconds or less. I wouldn't go more than a minute 5, minute 10.
Awesome. Well, I want to play you just a little demo sampler of some of the demos that I produced. It's going to be like little snippets of about 4 or 5 different talents. I'm going to test this first because I want to make sure everybody hears it first, and then I'm going to play it again. But these are examples of what a professional demo should sound like. Let's take a listen. Okay, could you hear that, Rob?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to start it again. So take a listen. It's about 3 minutes long. So, and try when you're listening to it, pay attention to the variety in the voice, the inflections, how different all the clips are. We're going to get to a couple of character demos a little bit later on too, and listen to the different reads on those. We're going to start with Rebecca here, and every one of her reads is different. This is what agents love. Let's take a listen.
The grins and giggles they let out as soon as the lotion touches their skin are magical.
Carrie, I
Soft
can't hear anything.
skin with so many smiles.
I hear it.
Aveeno Baby
I hear it.
Lotion.
Can everybody else hear it? I don't know why
Looks
Janice.
like everyone else is getting a thumbs up. Maybe it's just me. Okay, well,
Oh, okay, all right.
It's
No
just
problem.
you.
It's just you, Janice. All right, let's take a listen here. No problem. I'm glad you said that, Janice, because sometimes things go wrong, and it's good to know. So, all right, here we go.
Lotion touches their skin are magical. Soft skin with so many smiles. Aveeno Baby Lotion. It's that time of the year again. Time for the kiddos to continue stocking up on knowledge. Make sure they're ready to learn and visit Target for all your back-to-school needs. That's not just your head of hair, sis. That's your statement. Your introduction when you enter the room. Make it profound, memorable, extraordinary. Make it with Oyen Handmade. They say one person's trash is another person's treasure. Doesn't that mean it was always a treasure?
These are amazing.
I'm so happy right now.
Visit threadup.com to add some flavor to your closet. With brand name clothing
personality in
and
that.
prices you
Oh,
won't
yeah.
believe. Why settle for biting into a chocolate-covered cherry when we've given you the chance to drink one? Sexual Chocolate Red. Available at Total Wine.
We've lost too many to just give up.
Oh,
We must keep
Tomcat.
fighting if we want to live in a world free of this evil and hate. Who's with me? You must ride due east for 3 days until a large waterfall will show its beauty where the sun sets. At first light, you must fire the arrow of hope into the waterfall and kill the beast that lives there once and for all.
Love that.
What could you possibly have to offer me, peasant? This armor is fit for a true warrior, not some lost little boy like you. War is horrific. It will change your life in ways you cannot imagine. Being prepared for battle is one thing, boys, but being excited for
Just
it is
so
a
good.
feeling you should never have. You heed these words and you never forget them. It's the little things in life that really matter, I tell you what. The constant belly rubs and ear scratches. And oh boy, the food that Timmy drops me from the kitchen table at dinner time. Oh, what a life.
We love the music.
If it's the greatest hits you hear in the car, it can only be Q105 FM, Atlanta's best music. Listen to the Eagle weekdays for a chance to win $1,000. $1,000.
Enter a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo right here that basically says the same thing. Just listen to the Eagle Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. for a chance to win $1,000. Void where prohibited. Your mileage may vary. Don't forget to floss your vegetables.
Music that doesn't suck. Z-Rock 103. Download our free app and take K-Rock with you wherever you go.
Except maybe not to a funeral. That's kind of awkward.
What the truth? You can't handle the truth. The truth is that Mix 107 plays the most hits, more than any other station. Oh, wait, that's not what you were asking about? My bad. More music on the way.
Q93.3.
I had the radio on. I was driving. Wow.
If that doesn't paint a picture, I don't know what does.
Dan on the morning show has been working out for a marathon.
All right, it's a Netflix marathon, but that still counts, right?
Dan and George, weekdays, The Beat 93.
Whoa, this dump is creepy. Dude, we should totally scare the girls. Quick, I'll hide upstairs. You go to the basement. Go!
Once you've made landfall in Schwarzwald, your objectives will be to cripple their production line and neutralize the defector, Hans Fiedler.
All right, so
The grins.
that is a demo sampler. So what you heard there is you heard a commercial demo first, and that was followed by a wickedly good video game character demo, and then we went to a radio imaging demo. Rob produced that one, and then River at the end with a couple of character clips. So those are examples of how a demo should be professionally done. And I know some people that get into voiceovers, they want to try to do it themselves. I would definitely discourage you from doing so, especially if you don't have any experience, which a lot of people don't. And even if you do have some experience, Rob, it's good to have a coach on the other line directing you while you record the demo.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You're always going to be your worst critic. So, you're going to be pretty harsh on yourself, but you need to be focusing on what you're doing right, not what you're doing wrong. What you're doing wrong should be in the hands of the coach that says, okay, here's why we're going to go again, and we're going to do it this way and stretch this out, or don't stretch out that word. Don't put so much emotion in it. That you need unbiased ears to listen to what you're saying, to make sure that you're delivering what you can deliver, because it's easy to get caught up in my head and think, okay, this is the most perfect way that I can deliver this line, but somebody listening to it goes, no, I don't believe you, it sounds fake. That's why you need a coach to work with you when you're working on your demo. Absolutely.
Janice, do we have another question on deck here?
Yeah, we've had quite a few. Most of it has been getting filtered through me or Rob, but one that caught my attention that I think you would probably want to answer is a dad who's on here. His son is in high school. He's 16 years old, and he wants to know if you have any advice for his 16-year-old son wanting to
get into voiceover. That's a good question. That's a good one.
Great question. It's a great time to get involved with it too, because I started a little bit earlier in theater, but I wish I would have, I wish I would have had all these resources back when I was a kid, just trying to figure it out. Right. So the nice thing about voiceover is it's just it's for all ages. Rob, we work with a couple of younger talents as well. So we work with all kinds of talents, and it's good. It's good to start off young, but it's not a horrible thing if you start late either, because a lot of successful voice actors start when they're in their 40s. So there's no real rule when it comes to it's not like a musical instrument where it's going to be, you're going to have a huge advantage if you start taking piano lessons when you're like in 5th grade, right? Voiceover doesn't really work that way. So I would, if your son's really super passionate about doing this the right way, I would definitely recommend getting training, because we don't know what he's going to be good at yet. And if he hasn't really done any voiceovers, we probably don't know. Because as I said at the beginning of the class, with our students, we like to throw the darts and kind of see where they land. We try commercial scripts, we try narration scripts, we try video game character scripts. Occasionally we try some promo scripts, and Rob, sometimes there's a surprise.
Yeah, I would think, I would suggest for anybody that's talking about somebody getting started, and they're young, and maybe they're in school and they're not ready to get coaching just yet. The things to prepare if you want to be a voice actor: acting. Take acting classes, take drama in school, understand improv, take a business class, understand that this is a business. You have to treat this you have to treat this as a business, with tracking every cent that comes in and out of your accounts, and so business, marketing, advertising, drama, acting, improv, all of those things can be taught while the person's in school. Before you even talk to a voiceover coach, get your acting skills, get good acting skills. That's what's going to make you go far in this business.
What will a talent agent or a producer do if I send them a demo that I attempted to produce myself? I think the cute little photo speaks for itself. They're very meticulous and very strict, I should say, on talents that they're going to accept on their roster. And it's a big deal to get on a talent agency roster, because if you get on a roster, that means you're really good. Because imagine all the demos that they're getting and all the inquiries that they're getting per year, right? So again, do you absolutely need a talent agent to make a good living doing voiceovers? Absolutely not. I said this before, I'll say it again. 80% of my annual income comes by way of working directly with the client. So there's definitely because there are still like talents out there that just prefer to work through a talent agent, and that's just perfectly fine. A lot of talents have success just by working with their agent. They don't want to do the cold calling, the email, and the marketing. I mean, it's a lot tougher to succeed if you're not willing to do that. The long gone are the days where you can really, especially if you're not in LA or New York, where you can depend on that agent to make a good living. So we're going to take some more questions coming up here, but I want everybody to do me a favor right now. Go on your tablet, phone, laptop, desktop, and go to uvtvirtual.com. I want to talk to you a little bit about a brand new program that UVT has created for passionate talents who are on a budget. So meet me there. I'm going to stop the screen share just for a second here because I'm going to go to the website as well, uvtvirtual.com. All right. So what we've done is we've created a self-paced video training series, not just video training, but also live voiceover classes on Zoom. UVT Virtual is for aspiring voice actors who are on a budget who want to learn the business of voiceover. And the beauty of this program is you can take the training at your convenience wherever and really whenever you like. It's a very laid back program. You get a new voiceover training video done by either Rob or myself or Garnett or Amy or Jan or any of the UVT coaches. You get a new voiceover training sent to you every other week, and you're invited to 3 live monthly voiceover classes on Zoom. You get exclusive interviews with talent agents and VO pros. I'm going to scroll down here because I want you to see a little bit about the video curriculum, how to start a voiceover business. What do you charge for a voiceover? What do you need on your demo? What pay-to-play audition sites are worth your time? How do I get into character work? That's just scratching the surface. There's many more. You can read the testimonials from other students of ours at your own leisure there, but you can see people are very happy with the program. And then there's an FAQ here. Make sure you pay attention to that. So here's the scoop. The membership fee is only $30 a month. That's about $1 a day for the best voiceover training on the planet. And again, if you're really serious about doing this the right way, this is a great way to just kind of get your feet wet and see if this is going to be something for you. If you don't like it after a few months, you can always cancel. I mean, obviously, we hope you stick with it because that's the way you get invited to new voiceover classes. And, the content's going to be brand new, sent to you every month. So we definitely would recommend signing up for it, uvtvirtual.com. And let's talk about the bonuses. If you sign up tonight, you're going to receive the following bonuses. You're going to get a one-on-one voiceover coaching session with a UVT coach. You're going to get a bonus 60-minute voiceover script workout, and that is for UVT Virtual members only. And we just added this because Rob and I talked early this morning and we thought this was a killer idea. You're going to get a free voiceover audition review by a UVT coach. We'll provide the script. We'll give you a little bit of direction, and then you'll go off and record a couple of takes, and then you'll send to either Rob or myself, and we'll give you professional feedback. So all of those bonuses are included if you sign up tonight for UVT Virtual. And Rob, this is a program too, where, man, I really wish this would have been around when I first got started.
I absolutely wish that something like this existed when I was first got the bug to work in VO, because it's one of the nice things about this is that it's giving people all the information that we normally give during a one-on-one coaching session. Honestly, I mean, everything that I do in the videos that I've submitted for UVT Virtual, I'm saying the same things I say in a one-on-one session. So it's a great way to learn the information about what it takes, the skills you need and the techniques you need and all that stuff to become a voice actor. The one thing it doesn't have is the one-on-one, yeah. And so it's like learning a musical instrument. You can learn a lot off of videos. But if you really want to step it up a notch, you're going to need to have a coach that's going to work with you, a teacher that's going to work with you specifically. But this is a great way to get started for somebody that's interested but doesn't have a lot of money. I mean, and because who does, right? But this is something that it doesn't break the bank, but you're learning and you're actively pushing yourself forward to grow and to build your skills as a voice actor. So it's a great kind of pain-free way to get started in the business.
Yeah, we wanted to create a program that was a little bit more affordable for passionate new voice actors that didn't necessarily have the budget for a massive training program that includes coaching and demo production. I mean, that will hopefully come later, but $30 a month. I want to encourage everybody on this call to sign up for this because this is a really, really good program and we're really proud of what we've built here. So just click on that join now button. Not on the Zoom screenshot, but on your own computer.
It's not working.
Oh, it's not working. uvtvirtual.com. Click on the join now. And again, it's cancelable anytime. You're not going to be locked into a 5-year contract or anything ludicrous like that. But it's not only with the videos, Rob, but they get the 3 live Zoom classes a month, and those are recorded.
That's fantastic, and I love the bonus thing that you and I were talking about this morning. That audition review. Honestly, if you've got some experience, you've been doing voiceover for a little bit, you really want it, that you need professional training, but you haven't been able to afford it. This is a great way to really see where you are in your own skills by us sending you a script and saying, all right, here's your audition, send it back to us. And you treat it like an audition. You're going to get an honest opinion of what we hear and what we think from a commercial point of view. It's not somebody, oh, well, you're terrible and that's why you need us. No, it's I'm going to be honest and say, here's what I like, here's what I didn't like, and here's why I don't like it, and here's why it won't work, or here's why it will work. So I think for somebody that's just getting started, to be able to send an audition to somebody and say, what do you think is that's worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah, definitely. So sign up tonight, man. You're going to love the program. And then who wouldn't want to see Rob and I again for another session, or Janine?
I know, right?
I mean, who wouldn't want more of Rob Marley and Terry Daniel? I mean, come on, man. You should join it just for that.
I want to kind of put a little 2 cents in here, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there were some questions about does this offer one-on-one coaching, or can I just practice on my own without having coaching? This right here is where you can get started. And if you're I need to practice on my own because I don't have money, that's fine. Right here, get started, figure out how you're supposed to practice on your own. And then when you have money, you can go to UVT and start doing the one-on-one private coaching with UVT. We do have the group classes, like he said, that are offered on at least once a month on Saturdays. And those are always good. If you choose to participate and read, you just raise the virtual hand, and Terry even goes over to try to get everybody involved in it. And you get feedback live from Terry during those group classes, but you're also not just doing it for you, you're hearing it for everyone else in the group as well. So you're hearing different perspectives of people reading the scripts that Terry provides. And then to add on to that too, someone was saying that they don't get paid till Tuesday. And Terry, I know that you usually, if you know in advance, you offer a little bit of an extension. Are you going to do that this time with this one?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can do that. We're pretty cool to work with. I think we're pretty cool to work with. So yeah, that would be totally fine. And I want to touch on what Janice said about practicing with a script, because some of the videos that you receive, many of the videos that you receive, have script exercises. So you can actually, it's like me or Rob or one of the UVT coaches, we do a screenshot of the script. We'll kind of dissect it and practice it in little sections, and we'll give you all kinds of tutelage on it. And then those videos work like homework. So you can actually practice along with the video. You can pause the video and then you can go off and read the script yourself, come back and watch the video. Again, it's if you're on a budget, this is the way to go. So I hope you sign up for it, because this is a great program. uvtvirtual.com. Click on that join now button at the bottom and you will absolutely not regret it. Janice, do we have some other questions in there? We can get to those. I know we've got, I think we got about 10 minutes. So we
Yeah.
would be happy to take some questions, anything voiceover related. Let's do it.
There was one that was pretty specific. The question was, how do we navigate the current strike with SAG-AFTRA? It's hard to figure out what's a struck project for video games, and I don't want to be accused of crossing the picket line and hurt my career down the road. So how do you navigate those waters?
Well, this definitely go to, I mean, I got to be upfront. I'm a non-union voice actor. I've been for 30 years, and sometimes I don't even understand all the stipulations of the strike. I would definitely recommend going to the website to check that out, because I don't want to sit here and pretend I know all the rules. Rob, I don't know if you have some more insight on that, but
Yeah,
you know, we're kind of in the non-union voiceover world, but I mean, we'll try to get you the help you need, because I think that's a terrific question, and I would just recommend going to the SAG-AFTRA website to get those answers.
Check out SAG-AFTRA's site to see exactly what they're striking over, and there's very specific things. You know, the site's going to say what's right and what's wrong as far as work that you're doing. Not everything that you do as a voice actor has to come to a screeching halt because SAG-AFTRA is on strike. You just need to be respectful. I mean, the idea is that we're all on the same side. We're all trying to fight for the best rights, you know, the best pay, the rights for actors, you know, and so you want to be in solidarity with our union brothers and sisters, but you know, do it the right way. Go to SAG-AFTRA's site and see the specifics, because there are specific things that you can and can't audition for or shouldn't audition for.
Yeah.
The person added on here that they did look on the website to find the names of projects, but it's really difficult without the actual project code, and not all projects list it when it's auditioning, if you know the project code or what it is that they're doing. So that's why they were asking that question.
Yeah, if this person wants to email me, terry@uvtcoaching.com, I will find the answers they need, because I do have a lot of union friends who are going to be able to answer that a lot better than Rob and I will be.
Yeah.
So
most of my projects don't even have project codes, so they wouldn't show up on SAG's radar in the first place.
Right, exactly. So we'll definitely get you the answers that you need. If anybody, by the way, wants to ask a live question, we can unmute your mic. You just have to wave the little hand widget in your screen, wave it, and then I can't see everybody on the grid because I've got the screenshot of UVT virtual, but Janice, do we have anybody that wants to go live for a minute?
I should look at that.
No one has raised their hand yet. But one question that kind of came up a lot was, and I know you have thoughts and opinions about this, Terry, using Fiverr and or starting with your rates being lower just because you're new.
I wouldn't recommend doing, you know, you're almost better off volunteering for a nonprofit. Honestly, you're giving to the community, and you're already building a great reputation because you're helping somebody for free, and it's all for a good cause.
I gotta jump on this one. Sorry, Terry,
go ahead,
I gotta
Rob.
jump on this one.
No, please do.
I jumped on it a little bit when it was in the comment thread. In the grand scheme of things, nobody cares how long you've been in the business. If you've been in the business 24 hours, but you can still sound exactly the way the client wants, that's all that matters. So to cut your rate because you're new is just leaving money on the table. There's no reason to do it. Well, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to charge less. Then that just makes a producer nervous. Holy crap, why are we hiring a newbie? Forget it. Never mind. I don't want to use you. We'll use somebody else. So no, don't ever say, I've only been in the business, 6 weeks or whatever. Just say, I'm a professional voice actor. I'm doing this because I'm good at it and you need me. That's what you need to say. Don't do anything else.
That's a great piece of advice, Rob. And I also recommend that when it comes time to do a voiceover website, it's okay not to have a big client list, because what happens is people get pinched. They make things up because they want it to look like they've had a lot of success for many years. Well, we know damn well that you're not doing national TV spots for Target when you just got your demo a week ago. So, it's again what Rob said, it's all about your demo, it's all about your skill set. This is how you get clients on your website, but you don't want to be caught like lying about your resume. Don't go down that dark path.
And God forbid, don't have something on your demo that is an actual commercial that somebody else booked, because we've had that happen. We've had some agents that we've done webinars with and have heard work that was like, they didn't do that. That's one of our talent that did that. And that person never heard from that agency because of that. It's ethically bad. It's ethically dumb to do something like that.
Absolutely. I think we have a live. Go ahead, Janice.
Yeah, we do have a hand raised from Raul, and I'll go ahead and he's unmuted. So
yes, I did. First of all, thank you for the class.
Welcome.
I'm the dad with the high school student. He's next to me, and I forgot to ask if it was a two-part $5 payment for the class. So sorry, but I appreciate your guys' time.
Oh, you're sneaky, Raul. You're sneaky. You snuck somebody in.
Sneaky San Diego. That's who I
am. Oh, all good, man. All good.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but I really appreciate everyone's time and your candor. So it started because I kind of always wanted to do something, but then my son has been in theater. He's done all these things. So I'm like, and then he's told me about it, and I got it on my email. I'm not really sure how, but it was great because when I saw it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sign up. So it's a chance as a father and son to also be together, which is awesome.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Awesome.
And like I picked them up from school a little bit earlier, and I'm like hurrying up. I cut my work. I'm like, I have stuff to do. And I guess my question is, well, it's a dumb question, but since I don't know anything about voice acting, is there like, quote unquote, like a bachelor's degree, a master's, a PhD? Like I always make fun with, or my son and I have a lot of like fun making different voices just because I grew up in Mexico. Well, a little bit in Mexico and almost all here in San Diego where I'm from, where I live. And I've always like made these voices and I joke with him and then he makes voices at me. And I'm a frustrated singer, love the Beatles. He sings and I sing and all that good stuff. So I guess my thought is like, and like you guys said, which is great, like first year, don't expect anything. Who knows? And I was explaining, my son didn't know what cold calling is. So I was like laughing. Or a USB microphone, all that stuff, or MP3 that I know. But to me, it's kind of cool that he's with me because I'm like, hey, and I told him, like, when you guys talk about perseverance and like, hey, like, is there a lot of people joining? Who knows? But every time you're doing something, try to be the best. So
yeah,
my final question, sorry about my whole spiel. I feel like American Idol, but it's mostly like, hey, does he need a PhD in this, or is everyone going to say like, hey, you don't have a business master's degree in this or not? So I don't know. He's here with me, and I want him to get the full experience, and I'm really excited I'm here. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Great inspiration and a great.
Yeah.
You definitely do not need any kind of degree. The demo really is your degree. I mean, it's all about what's on your demo. Your demo is your bachelor's degree. There's really no like PhD in voiceover, Rob. I know that there's some programs that'll issue you a cheesy certificate when the training program is over. All that stuff is garbage. The demo is the degree.
You can get a degree in the other things that are a part of what you do as a voice actor. You could get a degree in acting. You could get a degree in communications. But now there's no degree course for voiceover or voice acting. Although I think there should be. Then it would be nice to have some qualifications. And then, yeah, Raul, like you were talking about, yeah, there's competition, but it's not. I don't really think about the people that I'm competing with, because I'm not really competing with them. I'm just competing with myself. Bryan Cranston offered some great advice when he was asked about auditioning, and I love it because his advice was just leave everything on the stage, do everything you can to show that you are the right person for the job. Put in the effort, do the work, do the practice, so that when the time comes, you can deliver exactly what the client wants. Leave it all on the stage, and walk away and never think about it again. Because if you obsess over it, it's gonna drive you nuts. And if you think about, oh, well, so and so was in line for this audition too, it'll just drive you crazy. I don't think about anybody else that I'm competing with.
Yeah,
on any job.
You shouldn't think about anybody that you're competing with. And you really, like, if you're on a talent agency roster and you send an audition in for a gig, don't like email the talent agent a day later and ask, hey, did I book it? They don't.
Oh
they don't
God,
like
that's
those
the
kind of
worst.
follow-up. So you're gonna look really, really green if you start doing that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, guess what? If you book it, guess who's gonna call you? Your talent.
You'll be the first to know. Really, you'll be the first to know if you got the job.
I had somebody ask. Thank
you so much.
It's You Bet, man. Somebody was asking what the website was again. uvtvirtual.com. There's a little join now button at the bottom. You can sign up for your membership that way. Somebody was asking for that link again. I don't know if you want to throw that in the chat, Janice, again, if you want. But we've got Mike D. If you guys don't mind, we're just going to go over for another 5 minutes and then we'll let everybody go. I just want to get in like one or two more questions and then we'll say goodnight. Mike, did you want to ask a live question?
Mike D. Mikey.
Mike D, are you there, my friend?
Paging Mike D.
A lot of silent syllables.
Silent syllables.
We're going to have to mute him. Mike, if you
want Mike.
If you want to type, bro. You can type a question in the chat you want. Janice, do we have some other text questions?
Here we go. Another person has raised their hand. I'll go ahead and ask that person to unmute. I don't want to say her name wrong. Nikia?
It's Nikia.
Nikia, got it. Okay, Nikia, good evening and thank you for being here. What's your question?
Okay, so one of my questions, it's not the question that I just sent to Janice, but the other questions I have. So if we sign up for the UV virtual, for those sessions, do we pick those days or are they like a pre-scheduled date?
Nope. Here's how that works. The one-on-one voiceover coaching session, you get to pick the day. You just have to see when the coaches are available, and there's a lot of availability on these. And then you'll get a link. Once you sign up, you'll get like a couple of emails, and then you'll get instructions on how to do it. The group classes, for example, the 60-minute voiceover script workout, some of those are planned ahead, but you're going to be invited to all of them basically, and you don't have to be there for all of them, because the nice thing about for the classes that you have to miss, you'll always get the recording. You're always going to get the recording of everything you do for UVT virtual. And the audition review from a UVT coach will be done virtually, where we send you a script or two, give you some thorough direction on performance, and then we'll have you go and record. By the way, don't get nervous about recording. You can even use the voice memo app on your phone. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. What we're working on right now is performance skills. So I hope that answered your question. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike D said he should be back. He had to switch mics.
Ha!
Oh, all right.
I hate when that happens.
We're going to try it again. Mike D, take two.
All right, now hopefully you can hear me now this time.
All right. Yeah,
for
perfect.
some reason my other headset did not want to work for some reason. So
Zoom loves headsets. Mine craps out mid-session. It's great.
So it was just like, all right, well, I guess I have to go to the actual microphone and recording area. But as somebody who's like also hello from Minnesota, by the way.
Awesome.
As somebody who like wants to get into like doing a lot like of character and like gaming and animation stuff and all that, how important do you think is a dialect coach would be if you're trying to do like other accents or variations of your voice that are outside of what you normally do?
I think it's a tremendous idea, not only to work with a regular voiceover coach for the skills, the regular performance skills, but if you're trying to like master accents and different things like that. Rob, many of our students have also worked with a dialect coach as well, especially if you want to really, we can help you kind of get out of like a certain regional accent, like a Southern drawl or a Brooklyn drawl or a Minnesota drawl, or, Minnesota, it's all about the ahs, ohs, and r's.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
So we can help people with that. But if you're looking to kind of do it in a way of like character stuff, I would definitely recommend using a regular voiceover coach and a dialect coach. Rob, we have tons of people that do that.
Yeah, there I can offer some advice on some accents, but it's funny. I've actually learned a lot of picking up. There's if you're looking for a specific accent, there's plenty of courses out there that show you with linguistics experts, vocal experts, exactly how to sound like, somebody from London versus somebody from upper class London versus lower class, or New York or Texas or something like that. You can learn a lot from courses that are specifically designed for that. But if you're talking about like accent elimination, I can definitely help with that a little bit, especially since I listen to Terry all the time with his damn Minnesota accent.
Oh God,
so
it's terrible. It's terrible.
I just get him excited. I just get him excited, and then I hear that, oh yeah, just chime in, and I'm like, got him again.
Yeah, and it's even worse after I have a drink.
We have 2 more live questions. There's Nikki. She's been trying to figure out how to do the reaction button, but she is unmuted. And then Kate, who has her hand raised.
Okay, cool. Let's take Kate first, and then we'll close with Nikki because we're running out of time. But Kate, go ahead whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I'm completely new to all of this. I don't have any experience. I don't have any of equipment or anything like that. And I've recently been in a car accident, so I'm just kind of like sitting around doing nothing. I was wondering if there's anything for somebody who doesn't have any experience at all, no equipment, and really no money. What would be something that I could do kind of in my own spare time on my own to get better or get more comfortable with reading and talking out loud and that kind of stuff? Are there any like websites or links or anything that have scripts that I could practice reading on my own and just stuff to keep myself busy?
That's a good question. I'm going to mute you, and I'm sorry to hear about your car accident. I hope you're okay. I mean, if there's a way you can swing it, honestly, uvtvirtual.com, $30 a month, and you get tons of scripts sent to you, tons of video coaching. You're going to get 3 live classes a month. I mean, I hate to go into this infomercial again, but I mean, I don't think there's a program on the planet that's offering everything we're offering in this program for $30 a month. And it's just, again, we wanted to build this program for people like Kate that can't really do a one-on-one coaching program right now. And Kate, if that isn't going to work, I would just find some practice scripts online. But if you can, become a UVT virtual member. I promise you it's going to be worth it. Now we can go to Nikki. Nikki, good evening.
Yes, hi. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'm probably driving Janice crazy. Like, this poor girl does not understand how to do a hand raise.
Oh, that's all. You know what? It's so funny because that's the toughest part of Zoom is figuring out where that damn cartoon hand is.
She had to tell me where it was. I was like, okay, there, boom. And then evidently she saw it in the reply. She's like, let her through. It's okay. But thank you again. And I will keep this brief. But because I have done a demo, so right off the bat, I was wondering, would I be able to send it to you so you can hear it and give me some feedback? You or Rob?
Yeah, send it to Rob.
Okay, great. I will.
He loves he loves demo reviews, but you have to sign up.
I live for this kind of stuff. Absolutely, send it to me. I'd love to listen to it,
Nikki. Awesome. But you have to sign up for UVT Virtual. Okay.
Oh yes, no, I'm absolutely going to do that. I'm absolutely going to do that. That's what I asked. I asked that, as a matter of fact, to Janice, and I was the one saying, I get paid on Tuesday. Can I do it? And yes, I'm absolutely going to do that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Also, thank you. I was also wondering, when I had done my demo almost a year ago, I sent it out to talent agencies and I've not heard a call back. Do you recommend calling back, or do you recommend just like letting it in the wind, or what do you think?
Go for this, Terry. I'll answer for this one. This is a good one. If you haven't heard back from a talent agency, they're not interested. That's plain and simple. To call them up and say, "Hey, did you get a chance to listen to my demo?" They don't have time for that. No talent agent wants a follow up. In fact, following up just brings attention to you again. And if you're not somebody that they want, then they really know they don't want you if you're annoying them with a follow-up call. No, it's tough. It's tough with agencies because you've got to most of the big agencies won't even listen to somebody that's walking in the front door. They have to have, it has to be a referral. You have to know somebody in the agency and they vouch for you, and that's how you get in. With the bigger agencies, that's absolutely how it works, and with the smaller ones, you're just on a mailing list basically for all the auditions that you see everywhere else. But it's tough to get an agent, especially when you don't have the skills to begin with. So.
Well, then we might need to rework the demo a little bit too. I mean, that could be part of it too. And
yeah, it could be what's on the demo.
I want to reiterate what Rob says. Smaller market agencies are a little bit easier to get into without. I mean, he's talking about like Atlas and certain agents that are in LA and New York, or you need a referral, or at least prove to them that you can get a little work on your own too. But again, the beauty of voiceover in this day and age is you don't need an agent to make a really good living at this, because Rob and I are a proof of that. We do have a couple of agents ourselves, but Rob, I use all my agency money for vacations. Everything else goes to bills and everything else. So it's not like it's not like, I'm not like buying houses with agency bookings. I get a couple here and there every month, but most of the work I get is just from good old fashioned direct marketing.
Yeah, no, that's I love the agents that I have, and I love working with them, and I love when they call me up and they say they have a job for me. But 96% of everything I make is from my own hard work, not from an agent.
Excellent. Well, you know what? We're running out of time, and that's it for questions. Unless Janice, there's something in the text.
I know Nikki wants to jump in and ask another question. Nikki, just send me your.
Just one more question, and I'm so sorry to be like, oh, I have one more question. I'm not going to keep you guys because I know
really quick.
If you should cut another demo, should you call studios on your own, or should you get someone that to schedule them? Or because I know you had said that you shouldn't just do a demo on your own.
No, you should hire UVT coaching to do it.
Yeah, if you're working with a voiceover coach, they're going to be the ones that are going to help you with the recording stuff. And honestly, you want to be recording in your own environment. You don't want to go to a studio to record your demo, because then the demo is going to sound in a way that you're never going to be able to reproduce in your home studio. So you want to be able to record this stuff in your studio to show everybody, yes, this is what I can do, and these are the skills that I have. So yeah, send me your demo. We'll talk about it, and maybe it just doesn't need a full-fledged brand new demo. It just needs a couple of spots, but I'll give you an honest opinion about it and see what we can do to get you some more work.
And then Nikki, if you do the UVT virtual membership, you get the one-on-one voiceover coaching session with Rob for free. So make sure you sign up for that. And so please join that. Hey, you know what? I want to take the time here to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your Thursday evening to join us. We really appreciate it. Do me a favor in the chat area. I'm going to click the stop share now.
Stop share now.
There, yeah. Do me a favor in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being magnificent, what did you think of the class tonight? You can be honest, because this is how we improve our classes. If there's something that you didn't like, just you don't have to say.
Be honest and know that Terry craves, adoring.
Oh yeah, no, this is I do. I'm starved for attention 24/7, and this is how I get it.
Tell me how good I am. Come on.
No, that's awesome. And pretty much everybody hung out in the end. We really appreciate it. Oh, Chaka's in there. I didn't even see that he was.
Chaka, how you doing, man? Good to see you, bud.
Man, it's always a good class when he's in there.
He's in every class. I see him everywhere. He's like Vista. He's everywhere you want to be.
Somebody gave us a 6, man. That's a bunch of bullshit.
see, this is why I say you shouldn't do this, because somebody's going to say less than 10 and you're going to lose your mind for half a day.
We don't take that stuff personally. I mean, 98% of the class gave us a 10, so I should be pretty happy with that. Why am I focusing on the negative? I think I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. I think
there's your problem.
Yeah,
But also, you don't know, that person probably also has already had some of this information, so it may not have been as helpful because they already had some of the information already shared.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Thank you
Someone's
very
asking
much.
For Rob's email.
Oh,
Oh, that
my
was
my direct
Nikki.
email. Here, I'll send it out. It's rob@marleyaudio.com.
And
Pretty simple.
Cassie, the last thing I'm going to do at 7:20 a night is have another cup of coffee.
Please don't.
Yeah,
no,
no,
you need
please
a beer,
don't.
man.
Hey, thanks everybody. What we're going to do, I'm going to send the record. If you were late to the class, no big deal. I'm going to send the recording to this class tomorrow. And again, if you're interested, sign up for UVT Virtual, uvtvirtual.com. Hit that sign up button at the bottom, and you'll start getting videos and invites to the class. We really want you to take a chance at that membership because it's a really awesome way to start off, especially if you're on a budget. So looking forward to having you in the UVT virtual membership. Rob, thank you. Janice, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful night and have a good weekend as well. And yes, these videos will be in the email. Yes, you get a brand new video sent to you every other week, training video as being a part of UVT virtual membership. And then we've got 2 classes coming up you're also going to get invited to. And then when you join UVT virtual, you'll also get an email with information on how to book those coaching sessions and those audition reviews too. So the party's just beginning, man. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Before I leave, I like Cassie's idea. Now we just need to plan the virtual holiday party for the UVT virtual members.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Oh,
that's not a bad idea. A little virtual hangout kind of a thing. I like that.
It. Now, can we drink real beer or does it have to be a virtual?
Yes.
Does it have to be a virtual beer?
Real whiskey.
Not a virtual whiskey.
Not virtual whiskey, real whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I like mixers. Nikki likes mixers. All right, I'm going to shut the hell up and let you all go. Thank you so much for joining us. Rob,
thanks, everybody.
Denise, thank you. And we'll talk to you soon, everybody. This was a blast. I really appreciate it. Hope it was helpful, too.